Untitled-2 podcast. My name is Connor.
My name is Ash.
So Ash, have you seen the new Avengers trailer?
I've not.
You've not?
No.
No way. It broke a record for like the most watched trailer in a certain amount of time.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if he was joking or not, but James Gunn said that he directed the trailer, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So there's some cool things in it. Like, the most cool thing is obviously Thor turns and is like, "Who are you?" or whatever, and Guardians of the Galaxy stood there. I'm like,
No way.
Yeah, boy. But it's pretty cool because I heard they would only be in it in the second half of the film because they're splitting it into two.
Yeah.
I heard they'd only be in it in part 2, so that's probably like from the end of the film. Like they're just shoehorned in for a second,
Yeah.
but yeah, something about it was oddly disappointing. I feel like they didn't give much away. They were just like, the whole trailer was, look at this character, you know. Oh, they've met this character. Like, it starts with Bruce Banner, and then Doctor Strange is looking down at him, and then there's a bit where Doctor Strange is meeting Iron Man, and it just keeps going on like that the whole trailer. And there's a bit where fucking Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, sees Bruce Banner again, and she smiles at him, and it's like, oh, they met this guy, and Thor met Guardians, and these guys met this guy, and Loki met Thanos, and all this shit. And it's like, all right, but what actually was going to happen? You see Thanos like trying to pull the Mind Stone out of Vision's forehead.
Okay.
Which is like, oh my god, is he gonna die? But then kind of, if they put it in the trailer, you kind of know that he's not gonna die.
Yeah.
And then you see him like putting 2 stones into the Infinity Gauntlet, and he says this really cool line to Iron Man. It's basically like, fun is not something you think of when fun is not something you consider when you're trying to balance out the universe, but I can't help but have a smile on my face, or something like that.
And then yet I smile.
And then he punches Iron Man
Right.
with the Infinity Gauntlet. But there's bits about it where you're like, oh, that's exciting, but it's not. It doesn't feel like a trailer for a film. It feels like just hype. It's like, get hyped about these meetings, get hyped about these meetings. So
Yeah. I'm not saying.
yeah.
Try not to watch trailers these days because they're always like super spoilery.
Yeah, I'm the same. Our friend, who's always keeping me up to date on superhero shit, messaged me and he was like, "Oh, have you seen the Avengers trailer?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it." But yeah,
I can't remember. I've been watching a lot of daytime TV recently
yeah,
for some reason, and it was all like reruns of Bones and The Mentalist and fucking NCIS, which is shit.
yeah,
But like between every single ad break, they played the exact same trailer for The Walking Dead, which is currently on at the moment, airing and all that. And it was proper spoilery, mate. Like, there's a guy called Dwight who's helping out, our group fight Negan and whatnot. But he's like, no one knows about it at the moment because like he's in the shadows and stuff. No one knows that he's betraying his group.
yeah,
And in the trailer, we're talking to fucking Eugene with a mullet. And he was all like, this fucking group will fall, and in order for you to be on the right side, all you got to do is nothing. And I'm like, what? I didn't know that he'd have that fucking confrontation with mullet dude. Like,
yeah,
you just spoiled it for me. I would have been so stoked when that happened.
yeah. I don't know. I haven't watched Walking Dead for ages. I kind of lost interest in it.
Yeah, I'm getting there, mate.
Yeah.
This season has been pretty decent though. I just feel like it's a bit too late.
Yeah.
First season was phenomenal. I liked first season a lot.
I lost interest in second season, but then I just skipped it and kept going.
Well, interestingly, right, the ratings for the second season are higher than the first season, but everyone I've talked to said the second season was awful.
Yeah.
And I'm inclined to agree with them because it was just them on a farm. I think there was a lot of shit going down in the background. Frank Darabont, I think, was like in the show and whatever. That's why Dale died, because the guy who plays Dale's Frank Darabont's like best friend or something.
Yeah.
And I think there was a lot of like cuts and stuff like that, so the writers didn't know what to do.
Right.
And so they just spent an entire
Wasn't
season
that during the writer's strike?
I don't know. I don't think so. There's been so many writer strikes.
Yeah.
Last writer strike that really impacted shows happened when fucking Scrubs were on.
Yeah.
It was like a really awful season where all the episodes are out of order. Like one episode, fucking Dr. Cox is like bald as fuck because he shaved all his hair off. Next episode, he's got his hair back again. and Kelso leaves, and the next episode he's doing the rounds again. I'm like, after you just left like 2 episodes ago. It's because the writers, like, obviously the writer strike thing.
Right.
They made fun of it as well in the season after. One of the characters were all like, "What's up with Dr. Cox's hair as well?" Like one day he comes in bald, the next day he's got his hair again.
So I was thinking about something the other day.
Yeah.
Which thinking about it like now in hindsight, it's such a bizarre thing and it's so hard to get your head around. But then back then it seemed like perfectly normal. So basically, in primary school, we had mostly female teachers. I think there was only 2 male teachers that we had, and we didn't have a male teacher until like the last year of primary school. So we were used to only calling teachers Miss, and Miss wasn't like like addressing their gender or anything. It was just like teacher, basically.
Yeah.
We'd say Miss, and so whenever we were talking to a male teacher, we'd just be like, "Oh, Miss," and it's such a weird thing to think about now, but it was perfectly normal for us. So we never said sir. Like, sir, it seemed like something you'd only see in, like, fucking Oliver Twist or something.
Yeah.
And, please, sir. So we just never did it. And we had this one teacher. Well, he wasn't a teacher. He was, like, a helping hand. And he was around in the playground and shit like that, just watching over us at lunchtime and looking after disabled kids and whatever. And he must have come from another school because all the other male teachers there were just used to it. They were like, "Oh, yes." But this guy like got really angry every time you were like, "Oh, miss." And you were like, "Call me miss again one more time and you're in detention, I swear to God."
The word sir's lost all meaning to me recently because of that video on the internet where there's that guy on Skype and he's doing like a Skype interview and he keeps going, "Sir," to a woman.
Yeah.
"I am technology mad. But if you ask me what my passion is, I would say hardware.
That was so spot on.
I am putting my screwdriver everywhere and seeing what happens." Love that video, mate. "Sir, I am getting job."
We'll be back to you. That is such a perfect impression. So another thing I was thinking about the other day is something that you've done to have a negative impact on me and my interactions with other people in the world.
Oh God, okay.
So me and you are very interested in how things work.
Yeah.
And that doesn't just stop at like, oh, how does my mobile phone work, or how does this software work? It includes organic things like how does my dog's leg move like that and shit like that.
Yeah, why am I incapable of sitting down for shit and not pissing?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So whenever we meet somebody new, we'll tend to psychoanalyze them, think about, oh, what's their personality, what do they like, and how does this affect them. And like if you have an interaction with somebody and they do something weird, you'll think about it. Oh, maybe the mum didn't love them enough and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like what could have caused this person to have this weird personality trait. And so that I think that's something that you've caused me to think about, because I think when we first met, I was very like closed off to the world. I wasn't that interested in how things work and the psychology of things. And I think when I first met you is when you were most interested in psychology and how people's minds work. And like I was the perfect person for you to meet at that time as well, because I was just this super edgy, super emo teen, and you were like, I was like a fucking monkey in a cage for you, just like analysing how I work and how my mind works and shit like that. So yeah, whenever I meet somebody new, that's what I think about. And because of that, I assume that's what they think about as well. And I assume that whenever I meet somebody new, they're thinking about me. And if I do something weird, they're thinking about why I do something weird. And it puts a lot of pressure on me that I'm thinking of the interaction in that way. I just thought that's a really bizarre thing, because like I've started to get more into the real world now that I've got a job and meeting normal people who watch I'm a Celebrity and shit like that, and actually having a conversation with them instead of sitting with you and going, "Oh, what a fucking normie," and shit like that. So I've started to realise that people don't do that. People don't care how other people's brains work. Most people don't even think about how their own brain works. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Something interesting in
What's interesting is if I wasn't so into psychology at the time, we probably never would have been friends. Because like at that time, all my male friends were all betas. Like, I wouldn't be friends with another alpha. It'd be too much conflicting fucking trying to be the most alpha out of the two. And so because you were a big beta fan, I was like, mate, this guy's my new best friend. I can make him do whatever I want.
Plus, I was somewhat a skive when you didn't want to do PE or whatever.
Oh hell yeah.
But yeah, because of that, I'm always when I meet someone new, I'm always trying to be the best version of myself, and I feel like I've come across as insincere. And then I've noticed a lot of people at work keep telling me that I'm very direct. Like, now that they know me a lot, they say, "Oh, you're very direct," because I don't fuck around. Like, I'll go to my boss and just talk to him like a fucking person. And it's not something I've noticed or picked up on about myself, but people say I just don't beat around the bush. Like, when you message somebody on Works chat, you're supposed to start with like, "Oh, good morning," and then you do all the spiel, and then you say, "Oh, I need this and this and this." But I'll just come online and I'll be like, "Right, we need to do this. I need to do this," and then their first message will always be, "Morning, Connor," and I'm like, "No, that's really awkward. Don't do that. We're having a conversation."
No, they do it to me as well. Like, they'll always be like, "Morning, Ash. Can you just do this?" And I'm all like, "Yep."
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird.
And when I start a conversation with someone else, I'm all like, "So this and that," and I never go, "Oh, good morning, colleague. Hope you're having a good day.
Yeah.
Can you just like help me with this?" I'm just straight up like, "Yo, I've got a problem. This needs to be working."
That's something that happens a lot, especially if somebody from support is talking to me. They'll be like, "Good morning, Connor. Hope you've had a nice day, or hope your weekend was good. Just wonder if you can help me with this or whatever like that." But if I need somebody's help, I'll just be like, "Hey mate, got a question for you." Something like that. I don't need the whole spiel. I
find no value in the whole, parade.
Yeah, the rhetoric.
Like, they don't really care about how my week went and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're just trying to be polite.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
it's so transparent that it is that way. It's just so. I find it bizarre in a way because, like, obviously it's the norm if everybody in the company does that except me, but to me it seems like a bizarre thing to do to...
I don't mind, like, if it's the first interaction of the day with this person and it's a morning and they say, "Morning, Ash." That's fair enough, right? It's a polite thing to say. But, like, if every time we have a break from the conversation they come back and say "morning" again, it's like, stop being so polite, man.
Or even... Yeah, you're right. If they're the first one to talk to me, and that's their thing, like they say good morning before a conversation and everything, that's fine. But if I've already broken the ice, introduced the topic and got the conversation starting, you don't need to bring it back to square one by going, "Good morning." It's just so, it feels bizarre, and it's like they're saying to me, "Excuse me, you forgot about the rhetoric."
Whenever I email clients as well, I've always got to put like some form of, "I hope your week's gone well," or "I hope your week's treating you well so far," and whatnot. And I'm like, I'm not that person. It feels... I'm always like, are they going to know I'm being like proper fake here? Like, I don't care how the week went.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of something else I wanted to talk about. Is that salesmen? Salesmen just make me feel a bit sick, to be honest. Especially when, like, because they're always the nicest people in the world and they've always got so much personality. But then, like, if you know a salesman for more than a week and they start to get into the comfort zone and just be them 90% of the time, they're just fucking dicks. And you start to realise that every time they say something nice to you with a smile on their face, you can just see the death behind their eyes.
Yeah. I'm glad that, like, the whole salesman thing isn't part of, retail culture anymore. Because, like, in the 90s and stuff, you walked into, like, a PC world or something, and you're looking at something, some guy will come over and be all like, "Can I help you?"
Oh, they still do that in PC world.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then you're all like, "Oh, I'm just looking at this, like, fucking... what was it, popular tech in the 90s?
Yeah.
This newfangled DVD player," and the guy's all like, "Oh, I've actually got one myself, if I'm being honest." And you're like, "No, you haven't."
And then you're like, "Oh, no, I was actually thinking of upgrading to Blu-ray," and they're like, oh, well, I've got one of those. It's like, no.
Oh, I was thinking of also getting this Alienware PC. Yep, got one of those. What about that microwave? Yep. Shut up. Get out of my face.
I was thinking of looking at this entire fridge section, if you could just take me on a tour through it, and he's like, well, you're lucky because I've got all of these at home.
I was thinking of going next door and picking myself up something from KFC. Got that.
Got one in the back.
I'm eating one right now. Sir, I can see your hands. There's nothing in your hands. Oh, no, yeah. I'm...
He just starts licking his fingers.
I don't like the salesman culture.
Yeah, well...
Fucking hate people calling you up and you're all like... So, PPI, I'm like, fuck off. Just slam the phone down.
Oh, they're really pushing PPI now because like a new law got passed or something where after a certain date you can't make PPI claims anymore because it's wasting so much court time and so many people's money. And
I think like 2019 is where it's like really starting to cut off. I think there's a few places that are saying 2020 and there's other places saying 2019. So I think the next few years we'll be getting phone calls and someone screaming PPI down the fucking phone.
It'll be dope.
Right, I had one. Someone called me a few years ago. Called me up and was like, "I'm just checking. You might have been sold PPI." I'm like, "I'm fucking 18, mate. I've got no PPI." It's like, "Oh, but you might have like I've had a bank account for like a year."
Well, you're not 18 anymore. But yeah, I think I've told this story before, but I was a salesman for like a day, and I immediately quit because it was the most bullshit job. I started at fucking what was it? Started like 8:30 and finished at 1 a.m, and then they were like, come in tomorrow, and I was like, how about no?
That's so illegal.
But I was selling Netflix. I think I probably told this story, but I, like fucking Cliff Notes. This guy was supposed to be training me, and it basically what he told me was tell him it will cost him nothing, like literally say those words, it'll cost you not a penny until you're inside their door. And they're filling in the form, and they get to the bit where it asks for bank details. Then tell them, "Oh, actually, it'll just cost you £8.99. It's nothing." And then I was going around council estates where they clearly couldn't afford to clean the fucking face. Never mind buy Netflix.
Yeah, they get told as well not to accept no for an answer, and they have to keep pushing and pushing. But what they need to tell them is that there's some people out there that are clearly unhinged, and if they keep pushing, they're going to get fucking just destroyed, mate.
Twice when I was going around that council estate. Somebody said to me, "Oh, I won't do that round here. You'll get stabbed, mate."
You stab me all I want as long as I fucking sign up for Netflix.
It was commission as well, so if I didn't make any sales, I didn't get any money. But I got like 3 sales in that day, and because this guy was training me, he got all the money. I didn't get any money till I finished my training.
It's a bit shady, isn't it? Honestly though, the hours you were working, that's fucking straight up illegal. Yeah. You're supposed to have like 12 hours or 11 hours.
Because you sign up with the company as freelance.
Right.
So it's up to you. Like you could just not work a day, and that's up to you. But if you got on and get some sales, then they'll pay you.
That's fucking mental.
But the guy I was training with was like, "Oh, we'll keep going. We'll get a few more sales. It's fine." Oh, actually, it was American, and he told me that he didn't like Robert Downey Jr. Well, he said, "What's your favourite actor?" And I was like, "I don't know. At the moment, I'm really into like Robert Downey Jr. movies. I think I just watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's amazing." And I told him that on a train, and he got really offended. He was like, "Oh, he always plays the same role," and like got really angry at me. And then there was like an awkward silence for the entire train ride.
You look at him and was like, "Do you like Mac and Eggs?"
So yeah, speaking of salesmen. There's a guy at work that used to work for a sales company, and he told me this story like about how they used to run the company. So basically, when you start on your first day, they tell you come in dressed to the nines, smart as fuck, wear a tie. You have to wear a tie. If you don't have a suit, don't matter, just wear a tie, right? So you come in and they say to you, "Okay, take your tie off, put it on your desk." And then they go off, take you on the tour and like tell you how to do things and what have you. And then you come back to your desk and there's a balloon tied to your chair, and the balloon has your tie around it. And that stays there. They don't remove the tie. And every time you fuck up in the company, they tighten the tie. And then it keeps getting tighter and tighter. And obviously, if you fuck up enough times, the balloon pops. And if the balloon pops, you get fired.
Wow.
It?
That can't be true because balloons naturally deflate anyway. Like the air leaks out.
Well, maybe it's
You
not
haven't
true.
seen like a month-old balloon.
Well, this guy did work for a salesman agency, so he's probably stringing me along.
Do you think they were just hiring this one guy who like, once a week comes in when everyone's gone home and just reinflates the balloons?
Maybe it was just like not your entire career, but say you're on probation for like a week or something.
Most jobs you have to work for a while before they start paying you and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's just that.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah,
why? That's just a bunch of unnecessary shit. Why don't you just write the name down every time they do something wrong? Put a fucking mark next to the name.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's supposed to intimidate them, and it's for motivational purposes.
So put a big fucking whiteboard in the room, and every time they do something wrong, a big red X.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm like, oh shit, that's 2 X's next to my name, mate. I can't get another one.
So, like, this is the least smooth segue I've ever seen in life, but last week something weird happened to me.
Okay.
And I went through this
Hoover incident.
No. I went through this completely bizarre experience. It was like so surreal. And the whole time I was there, I was just like, I need to talk about this on the podcast. I need to talk about this on the podcast. But it was like 3 hours. And I was like, I'm not going to remember all this for the podcast. And then I was like, oh man, I wish Ash was there. I wish Ash was seeing what I'm seeing. This is so fucking weird. And then it turns out you were live streaming it and you saw everything.
Yep.
And I'm so happy you saw that because it was so fucking weird. So I graduated last week. I only took my girlfriend with me. Like, my dad was like, oh, I'll go. But I was like, no, it's a waste of time. Like, I've wasted 40 quid to put a curtain around myself and wear a cardboard hat for 3 hours. Which, by the way, right, they said if you don't dress smart, you can't come in. So I had a suit on and a fucking curtain around me, and it was red hot in there. So you had to come 2 hours early to make sure you got everything done. I came 2 hours early. It took me 5 minutes to get everything done, and I just stood there for 2 hours with all the other people on my course who were graduating, taking pictures of us in fucking stupid dresses and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we finally go into the ceremony. And the first, like, hour of the ceremony is just my college sucking its own dick. Just going on and on about how amazing this college is, which is completely untrue. Nobody there thinks that. And everybody was groaning, had the head in the hand, shaking their heads every time they said something. Like, the guy who stood up there, he must have been able to see us all, just being like, oh my God, shut up. It was the most bullshit experience. Actually, before that, when the speaker and all the tutors came out, they were all dressed in these fucking ridiculous, like, pantomime outfits. Like something from the 17th century. It was ridiculous. And it was called the Procession of the Mace, because there was a guy at the front of the train of tutors carrying this giant golden mace. The most ridiculous fucking ceremonial
it looked
bullshit.
more like a scepter than a mace.
Well, it was more of a scepter. Turns out one of my graphic design tutors actually designed it. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, it was this big golden mace, air quotes. It was so weird. But anyway, this guy gets up and he goes, oh, we've got a fantastic speaker for you today. She's been doing loads for the LGBT community. She's a trans woman, a trans man. How does that work?
Trans woman.
Man to woman trans, basically. She grew up in a mining town in the 80s and all this shit. Told us her entire life story, and then she gets up and tells her entire life story again, the same exact bullshit.
I feel like there weren't enough letters in that LGBT thing. It's like LGBTQRST fucking BLT. You know, keeps going these days.
She did refer to it as LGBT plus.
Sounds like some sort of fucking extra subscription.
But anyway, this woman gets up to the podium, and I expect her to be like, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Saoirse. But no, she was like, hello, my name's Saoirse. I grew up in a mining town as a man.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm okay with calling her by her actual whatever her gender that she wants to be called by. Like,
yeah,
female.
that's fine.
I'm fine with that. I'm not against trans people and whatnot.
But she was making no effort to be female.
Straight up just a dude in a dress.
It was a man in a dress
with fucking bolt on tits, mate.
It was ridiculous.
made no effort whatsoever. Like if I bumped into her in a fucking nightclub and I was still like, if I drank like fucking 3 liters of whiskey, I'd still be like, that's a man.
Yeah.
And I'd not fucking, put some effort into it. What I didn't like was her speech. Like it boiled down to, I've had a hard life, right? And it's like, yeah, of course you did, but it was your decision.
Yeah.
To have a hard life.
Yeah.
You chose to do that. It's all right, being who you feel like you are, right? I'm okay. I'm on board with that. But don't act like it was it was a fucking just an unnatural crime for someone to like not see you, like fucking, because she just acted as if it wasn't called for. And fair enough, no one should be bullied and stuff like that. But we're not at a point where you can suddenly be like, be a man for like the first 20 years of your life, and then on day fucking 21, right? 21 years old or something like that, be like fucking, oh, now I'm a girl. People are gonna call you out on that because we're not as progressed as a society yet.
Especially not in the 80s.
Not in the 80s, no. So like,
I feel like her whole speech was just unnecessary because everybody already knows what she's saying. Yeah. Like it's thrown down everyone's throat.
Especially today.
Yeah, every day. Everywhere on the internet, people are talking about it. We're students, like we know what the internet is. We've heard about this. We know there's a problem there, but it had nothing to do with our graduation. It had nothing to do with Bradford College. She just came there to like talk about herself and talk about her cause, which is all well and good, but we're not there for that. Like, there's places to talk about that, and I'm boiling hot. I'm wrapped in a curtain. I'm sat under a spotlight. I want to get my shitty bit of paper that I didn't even want to have this whole ridiculous ceremony just to get. And she's there talking for an hour about stuff I already know about, stuff people already know about. She's talking to the youth that are more progressive than adults. She should be off talking to my parents or your parents about it, not talking to students. Like, students don't know what's going on.
So yeah, while her life did sound like tragic and unfortunate, right? Trying to make us feel bad for her decisions.
Yeah, that's the whole thing of it. Like, she was there to try and make us feel bad.
She was trying to guilt trip us for her decisions.
Yeah,
like if I tomorrow just suddenly started telling everyone that I'm a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex, or started just walking around stomping on shit, I'd expect people to fucking start calling me out on it and teasing me and shit like that. But I won't try and make someone feel bad for it because it's my decision.
Yeah.
But her whole speech boiled down to, don't take no for an answer. Don't let anyone tell you you're wrong. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't know. But sometimes in life,
someone told Hitler that.
But it's like, sometimes in life, in fact, I'm going to say like most times in life, right? A lot of times in life, you are going to find out that you are wrong. Her speech should have been like, don't feel wrong. Don't feel bad for admitting that you're wrong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, admitting
you're
wrong.
Not saying that she is wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But the whole premise of the speech was just kind of like, in her head it made sense because she was talking about it in the context of wanting to be a different gender.
Yeah.
But she spoke about it as though it applied to everything, but it doesn't apply to everything.
No.
If you were fixing a plane and 1 million passengers were going to get on it and you were like, no, it's fixed, and an expert was there saying, it's not fixed, these people are going to die, but you just kept insisting it's fixed until somebody got in the plane.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. It's not going to apply there.
You should be allowed. You should know when you're wrong, and then have the balls to admit it. I do all the time. I admit when I'm wrong. I'm not wrong often, but I admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And so her speech would have been better if she said something like, "Be true to yourself." If everyone's telling you that you can't be something, but you know in your heart or something like that, you that's what you need to be, then don't be afraid to do it. It shouldn't have been like, don't take no for an answer. Don't say you're wrong.
Yeah.
And it was just, the fucking next part that really pissed me off. She said like, oh, there's over 80 genders on Facebook now, that's progress. I'm like, progress for who? Not for humanity. That's fucking just ludicrous. 80 fucking genders. What genders, mate? I'm fair admitting there's 3 genders, right? There's male and female, right? You're born as either one. You're not born like as a female in a male body. I don't believe that. I believe in gender dysphoria. Like, it's a brain thing, right? I'm not saying it needs fixing, like, at all. No, it's not a problem. And then the third one, right, I think should be just like the most greyest, fucking shadowest fucking gender, and that's for people who are transitioning. It should only be a stopgap. It shouldn't be like, you know, it's just somebody stay there for a while until you're fully transitioned. And then, so like fucking non-binaries and whatever else they're coming up with, they can go get fucked.
See, I remember a time before all this started with the million genders, and it was all about being gay or lesbian. And the one of the biggest arguments in that area was, stop putting a label on me. Stop looking at me and saying you're gay and being like, oh, have you met my gay friend, or have you met my lesbian friend? Stop labeling people like that. It's just your friend. And then that progressed. Like, okay, gays are accepted now in most parts of the world. Oh, maybe not, but in Western culture,
in the most advanced parts of the world.
Exactly. Being gay and lesbian and bi, that's all accepted. That's fine. That's part of normal life now. But then it was like, oh, we've got nothing to be angry about now. So then being transgender, that needed defending. Although I don't feel like it was that big of a problem before. It comes out now that it is a huge problem. It's always been a huge problem, which is fair enough. Maybe I was just ignorant to it. In fact, I was definitely ignorant to it because I don't live in that world. I don't have any interaction with that world. Forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, basically, that comes out and then people are saying, oh, don't label me as a guy, don't label me as a girl, don't say, oh, have you met my guy friend, just say, oh, have you met my friend? Same thing, right? And then it progressed from there, and suddenly they want labels.
Yeah.
But they want a million labels. Why don't you just stop at not having a label? Once you dilute the pool of labels so much, everybody's a different label, so you might as well not have a label. What's the point?
I've seen videos where people try and explain their made-up gender, and and it's just like they can't explain it at all. The most they've explained it with is like, oh, one day I like to dress as a woman, the next day I like to dress as a man. That's my gender. I'm like, that's not a fucking gender, mate. That is a preference of clothing.
Yeah,
it's fucking like, I'm okay with like sexuality. I believe is purely 100% psychological, right? The most normal form of sexuality is heterosexual people, right? That's just how, you know, nature works, and most people's brains are wired that way. I'm not saying that because people like men, it's not normal. It very much is normal now and stuff. But gender is not. It's non-negotiable. You can't. It's not psychological. It's, you know, biological. It's chemical. Fucking. You can't just be like, I'm non-binary. This is my new gender, because it just doesn't exist. Yeah. Maybe fucking use non-binary as like your sexuality or something like that, or your personality, not fucking gender.
Yeah, that is a fair point. And there's obviously the argument is always going to be there that you are biologically one thing or the other.
Yeah.
That's science.
It's like
you. Where does it stop? Like, are we going to start? Because we'll see a female dog and a male dog have got different feather patterns. Like, are we going to start saying that they're not female and male?
Yeah, it's bullshit, mate. It does my head in all the fucking time. I agree that in life there's not many things that are black and white, but gender is totally black and white. Female or male, that's it.
Yeah.
Fucking non-binary. I don't even. That's just who comes up with over 80 genders?
I don't know. Where do they come from?
They can't even explain it. Why that gender is different.
I feel like it's definitely a topic of discussion, because that's what all most people want to talk about nowadays, especially on the internet. But I also feel like it's like a fetus of a topic of discussion. Like the progression of the way we see this topic has a long way to go before anybody can talk about it, like properly talk about it and understand it and have opinions about it. And I feel like it's a dangerous pool to swim in, especially at the moment.
I just hope that if this topic is a fetus at the moment, we wise up and abort the shit.
Oh, mate. I unintentionally set you up perfectly for that.
It's not necessary. There's much more important things to talk about.
There are a lot
Racism,
more important
for
things to
fuck's
talk
sake.
about.
That is more important.
Yeah, there's so much shit going on in the world, and at the moment, all anyone wants to talk about is that one of the princes of England is getting married.
Honestly, I don't give a shit, mate. Honestly, don't care. I don't understand how anyone growing up in England, especially today, can be that patriotic about some fucking... They're not even got any power.
Like, what have they ever done?
Exactly.
Like, that's not me being like, oh, what have they ever done? Like, literally tell me what they've done that's changed England for me that I should be so excited about. Other than getting married and spending loads of taxpayers' money on said weddings.
We don't even fucking live in a proper monarchy anymore. They're just there for show.
Don't you think that's absolutely ridiculous that they'll spend all this amount of the people's money on a wedding, and everyone is all for it, right? But there's disabled people and mentally challenged people who are getting benefits, and there's the same people excited about the wedding are grumbling about the fact that their money's going to this disabled kid.
Don't you think it's weird how the last royal wedding spent like 30 million fucking pounds of taxpayer money on the security alone, yet 70 odd people died in a fucking fire in London because the council wouldn't pay $5,000 for proper fucking cladding or whatever it was that's set up.
Yeah,
how
that's
fucking mental is that? They just don't give a shit about poor people. I'm not saying that as like some conspiracy theorist. Like, if you look at the pattern, they don't care. Yeah.
I feel like nobody would ever admit it, and because we're morally trained to see things a certain way, we would never expect it of somebody, especially somebody with so much power. But then, if you think about it, how many people a day are like look at a homeless man we discussed?
Yeah.
Like, of course, somebody that high up with that luxurious of a lifestyle isn't going to want to even know what people are doing in council flats.
Like, I'm not saying the rich owe us anything. They don't owe us like.
No, they got
a life and stuff.
Fair
like
enough,
that.
right? They built their life up, like that was their hard work. They got to that point because they are good at something, and that shouldn't be taken away from them. But at the same time, you know, the little people are finding it difficult to get to the same position, have the same opportunities because they're in that position and they're favouring
they
themselves.
don't want anyone else joining the circle.
Yeah.
All I want from them is just for them to admit that they don't care about the smaller people, the poor people. And
instead of standing there on a podium
pretending like they care and they're like, oh, we're doing this for you. It's like, no, you're doing this because it's lining your pocket.
Yeah.
Because I don't expect anyone, like the fucking, who's our Prime Minister at the moment, that fucking Theresa May dickhead. I don't expect her to like do a tour of all the poorest parts of England and get to know every single fucking person.
Yeah.
Because even if she did do all that, it'd be nice and all that. She can understand what's going on and what the common struggle is for poor people. But what's she gonna do then? There's literally nothing, no power. No, there's no power like in England at the moment that can suddenly make every poor person wealthy and healthy, and you know, you just can't do it.
That's one of the things about politics. Like, it's hard to pick a side because
unless you're American, then you're either far right or far left.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a side because whatever's good about one side is equally bad.
Yeah,
like there's like an equal balance of shit we're gonna fix and shit we're gonna fuck up, and you don't want either of it.
Yeah, like I don't know. I find in America, people like to identify themselves by on which side of the political fucking seesaw they stand on.
Yeah,
and it's not like that in England. Like,
I don't feel like it is.
Because in America, you'll meet a guy's like, "Yo, my name's Tom. I'm far right." And he's like, "Why are you telling me that?" Over in England, this guy don't go, "Oh, my name is Armitage. I grew up in Oxford, and by the way, I support the Tories."
Yeah,
like you don't get it. It's just. You know, in America as well, you don't like get anyone that's like right down the middle. They're always far left or far right. They're not even like, oh, I'm on the left, but I'm like close to the center. It's just they're just the two extremes, and I just don't understand it. I suppose because like if it was right down the middle, they'd be all like, oh yeah, I think we should have equality, but like maybe one day a year we can go around beating up black people, you know, like a racial purge or something like that. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So maybe that's why there's no middle in America, but there certainly is over here.
Like, yeah, there's definitely a fence to sit on here.
I think every time something happens, I'm kind of hoping for Labour to win because they seem like to be the most fair party. But then there's like some things they say that I'm like, I don't really agree with that.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird, mate. Like,
There's
honestly,
definitely something off about it. It goes back to that thing about salesmen. Like, it's hard to trust anyone who's trying to sell you on something. Like, they want you to vote for their own gain. Like, so they'll tell you all this sugar-coated shit that'll make you vote for them. So how can you believe that?
There's straight up lie in British politics. Remember that shit that Nigel Farage was saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we'll
Do you remember how many people bought it, though? It's the most frustrating thing about it.
Right, they know there's like a deep-seated sort of like racial hatred in England, right? For like Muslims and stuff like that. And the media play to it perfectly all the fucking time. And that's what Nigel Farage did. He was like, we'll close the fucking borders. And he was like, yeah, but you can't do that, mate. You just can't close the borders.
That's exactly what Donald Trump did, and look where he is now.
Prick, mate. He sent out a tweet. I don't know if it was recently. But I saw this story recently. There's this fighter jet that's been in development for like the last decade or something, since the 90s, maybe 2 decades then. It's the Lockheed Martin like F-35 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, it's costing too much money, cancel the order or something like that. But he doesn't even have the power to fucking do that, because it's a fucking international project and it's making jobs and it's boosting the economy and all sorts.
Yeah.
So, and like what they're doing with it as well, right? Like, in order to get the money immediately, they're doing testing and production at the same time. So they'll make the latest version of the plane. They'll sell it to like us in England. They'll sell it to some other country. They'll sell it to fucking South Korea or something like that. And there's all these planes are getting shipped all around the world, and then they'll all send back like fucking beta reports, like bug reports. So then they've got to get them all back and then send out the new version of something. It's costing a shit ton of money. But if you were to shut down that project now, all these countries would fall out with America. There'd be a massive war and shit.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking... Trump's an arsehole, mate. I kind of hope that it was just an accident that he ended up president. I say it all the time, like, when we're not talking on a podcast, like, there's got to be some shadowy figure in somewhere in the world that's pulling strings in all these governments and stuff, and they saw him, like, go for fucking presidency and was like, yes, he's the perfect fucking moronic puppet for our agenda. There was in Mr. Robot Season 3, which I started watching.
I didn't even know it was out.
I told you a few weeks ago, like, I didn't realise either, and I was like, oh, bloody Mr. Robot's out. Season 3.
Yeah.
But anyway, I started watching it, and there's an episode where, do you remember that Chinese guy who likes to dress up like a woman?
Oh, yeah.
He was he was talking to this guy that uses propaganda, an American guy. He's got like, from what I figure is like, he reminds me of that fucking, what's his name, Alec Jones.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him, basically.
Right.
And he was all like, oh, and by the way, we want him to be the next American president. At the point of the TV and fucking Trump's there. And it's like, yeah, but Trump's a buffoon. He's all like, exactly.
That was brilliant.
Pretty funny.
As if he's... I bet he's tweeted about
that. I don't know. I don't know how he's tweeting. Barack Obama wasn't even allowed.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. Like, usually they would have like a secretary of social media. But it doesn't seem like that. It seems like he's just take a phone off him every day, and he goes and buys a new one every day.
Or he's just like, they'll walk into the Oval Office, expect him to sitting behind the desk, and he's all like, oh, where the fuck's Trump gone? And everyone runs around the fucking building. He's just in the social media room. He's knocked out the social media representative, and he's just whacking away on the keyboard. And they're all like, Trump, come on,
tweeting as much as possible.
Just put like arm around the shoulders, like, come on, we've got to go back to the Oval Office. And he's all like, well, it's gonna be really huge.
Okay, so we've been talking about some pretty on the border shit. So
yeah,
I feel like we
don't want to get into politics too much, do we?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things we said before we did the podcast, was that we won't talk about politics. But anyway, I want to lighten the mood.
Go for it.
So you remember a few podcasts ago, we read Rick and Morty fanfiction?
Yeah.
And it turned out to be quite disappointing. Like, the person who sent me it hyped it up a bit. And I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. I didn't even, like, proofread it or anything.
You should name names.
Well, okay, my sister's provided me with a new one, which I sampled, and it there's going to be a lot to talk about here.
No, man.
It's not Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like Rick and Morty is sort of it's been ruined for me a bit lately.
I wouldn't say it's ruined, but it's definitely been like.
Yeah, I'm kind of put off talking about it.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Like they're making a nice big Rick and Morty casserole in the kitchen, and some dickhead comes along and just knocks the fucking salt into it, and it's ruined it.
Yeah. So yeah, if I may, I'd like to dedicate the next, I think, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Of the final 15 minutes of this podcast to this fan fiction. So my sister tells me it's a fan fiction of a book series, which I haven't read and I have no knowledge of. But judging by the title, I think it's My Immortal. Or something Immortals.
Is it the Immortal City or Immortal Instruments City of Bones?
Yeah, Immortal Instruments. That's exactly what I think. My sister's read it, so it's probably.
I watched the movie. It's exactly Star Wars, mate. There's a young teenager who has this power that they don't know about, and then they get roped into this big world where the father is the big bad, and then she makes out with her brother, and then they find out that they're related. It's totally Star Wars.
Oh, I need to read you this message that prefaces the book.
Okay.
Message from Midnight Essence. Obviously, I did not write this. It was published on this site 5 years ago, then removed. There are probably other copies of this fanfiction as well as other sites on other sites. But I thought I'd post it anyway. Those who remember My Immortal well should also remember the first few chapters 1 to 15 were co-written with Raven, hence they were spelt better. Hence there was Spellbear, etc. But don't worry, Raven leaves in chapter 16, which is where her character Willow gets expelled from Hogwarts. However, she seems to return. The copy on here, I'm pretty sure, is 100% the original version, blah blah blah. The version will include The Hacker, chapter 39, the original chapter 39, and the possibly fake My Immortal 2, if I can find it. Okay, so chapter 1 next. Okay. Hi. Okay, here we go. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way.
Oh, what?
By the way, darkness, there's an apostrophe between dark and ness.
What?
Hang on. And I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back and icy blue eyes like limpid tears. And a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. If you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here.
They have Evanescence.
Get the hell out of here. Yeah. I'm not related to Gerard Way, but I wish I was because he's a major fucking hottie.
Oh my god.
I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. What else would it be? I have pale white skin, obviously. I'm also a witch, and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. Okay, so it's clearly a Harry Potter fanfic. I don't know why I forgot that. Anyway, I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, in brackets. And I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there.
Hot Topic? What the fuck?
For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets and a black combat boot. Just the one. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner and red eyeshadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun. Which I was very happy about.
Fucking hell, mate, the edge.
A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger to them. Hey, Ebony. Oh, hey, Ebony, shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. What's up, Draco? I asked. Nothing, he said shyly. But then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away.
There was just no payoff to that, what?
Chapter 2.
What? What happened in chapter 1? We know nothing.
The next day, I woke up in my bedroom. It was snowing and raining again. Because she couldn't decide which one she wanted.
I really like rain, but snow's really cold like my heart.
I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. My coffin was black ebony inside it.
Of course it was.
No, my coffin was black ebony, and inside it was hot pink velvet with black lace on the ends.
Obviously.
I got out of my coffin and took off my giant MCR t-shirt, which I used for pyjamas.
Hang on. Was this giant MCR t-shirt also ebony by any chance?
Probably.
Standard.
Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets on. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears. No fucking way.
Damn it.
And put my hair in kind of a messy bun. Nothing is happening.
She's just going through a wardrobe.
My friend Willow, in brackets, Raven, this is you, woke up then and grinned at me. She flipped her long waist-length raven black hair with pink streaks and opened her forest green eyes. She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and a pointy high-heeled boot. What's wrong with
Why are
this?
these people only wearing one shoe?
We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner.
Yes, we know.
OMFG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday, she said excitedly. Yeah, so...
That's not how a goth would talk. It'd be like, OMG, I saw you talk to Draco Malfoy yesterday.
Yeah, so... I said, blushing. Do you like Draco? She asked as we went out of the slithering common room and into the Great Hall. No, I so fucking don't, I shouted. Yeah, right, she exclaimed. Just then Draco walked up to me. Hi, he said. Hi, I replied, flirtily. Hi. Guess what, he said. What, I asked. Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade.
Fucking hell. What the fuck?
Oh my fucking god, I screamed. I love GC. They are my favourite band besides MCR. Well, do you want to go with me? He asked. I gasped.
This is abysmal.
On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace... Oh, don't dress yourself again!
Look, right, black lace fucking dress or something like that. Then she's going to put a fucking MCR t-shirt on, then fucking makeup, and the makeup will be black lipstick, white fucking foundation, and black eyeliner, right?
Exactly right.
Fucking hell. Redundant.
She also... I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit one of my wrists.
What? What the fuck? You can't just throw that in there. Oh, by the way, I was a bit depressed, so I just slit a wrist.
I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some GC.
I've never, ever come across anyone who referred to Good Charlotte as GC. What the fuck is this person's life like?
I painted my nails black and put on tons of black eyeliner. Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert.
Back up, right? She didn't put foundation on because she's pale anyway, but the first 2 times...
She wasn't pale.
Because she didn't lose all that blood the first 2 times, she just slit her wrist. She needs to go to the hospital.
Do you think all this is a hallucination because she's splitting her wrist? I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car.
Why has he got a flying car? That's fucking Ron's thing.
Yeah, and his dad made it and it was illegal to do it.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
That's the wrong thing to get angry about.
Probably because, right, a broom, him just stood by a broom's probably not as sexy as him, like, leaning on a fucking Audi that's just floating.
He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too.
Simple Plan gothic? Good Charlotte's not gothic.
Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish and a little eyeliner. A lot of cool boys wear it, okay? In brackets.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hi, Draco.
Stop trying to validate yourself in your fucking
I know.
Could you imagine if J.K. Rowling did that? Like, Ron has spectacles. A lot of cool boys wear it, okay?
He doesn't, but okay.
I meant Harry, but you know what I mean.
Hi, Draco, I said in a depressed voice. Hi, Ebony, he said back. We walked into his flying black Mercedes-Benz. The license plate said 666. And we flew to the place with the concert. She forgot the name of Hogsmeade, apparently. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs.
Smoke cigarettes and drugs. And drugs, mate.
I'm dizzy. I'm fucking dizzy.
Did he do the drugs?
I laughed way too hard. And,
oh my god.
Lost where I am.
Make your own adventure thing. We've got to like decide what drugs they were doing.
When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte. Because that's all you do in a mosh pit. Jump up and down.
Good Charlotte fucking heavy enough to warn a mosh pit.
You come in cold, you're covered in blood. They're all so happy you've arrived. The doctor cuts your cord, hands you to your mum. She sets you free in this life, sang Joel. I don't own the lyrics to that song.
Fuck's sake.
Right, look. This is how she types in a parentheses.
Okay.
I don't own da lyrics, number 2, dat song. Why did she do that? Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sung, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked as we moshed to the music. Can you imagine him just proper headbang and be like, what's wrong?
Swinging the fucking elbows round, just fucking did a spin kick, knocked some girl's teeth out. What's wrong, Draco?
Hey, it's okay, I don't like him better than you, I said. Really? Asked Draco.
That was so small.
Asked Draco sensitively as he put his arm all around me, all protectively. Really? I said. Besides, I don't even know who Joel is, and he's going out with Hilary fucking Duff. I fucking hate that little bitch, I said disgustedly, thinking of her ugly blonde face.
Why? Because she doesn't fucking wear black lipstick and black eyeliner and a fucking lacy fucking dress.
The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them. This is just like her biggest fantasy, isn't it? Going to Good Charlotte with Draco Malfoy. We got concert teas. Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts. Instead, he drove the car into the Forbidden Forest, Chapter 4.
Oh!
I'll finish this chapter because it's pretty short. And then
they're going to get some fuck.
I said stop flaming, okay. Ebony's name is Enobe. No, Mary Sue, okay. Draco is so in love with her that he is acting different. They knew each other before, okay.
I think she slit her wrist too many times. She's delirious.
Draco! I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously.
Did this car have to land? He just fucking opens the door, steps out, and he's all like...
Just above the forest, impale themselves on the top of a pine tree.
Fucking Aragorn's like, friends of Hagrid.
What the fucking hell? I said angrily. Ebony? He asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He has his gothic eyes on today. He was wearing colour contacts.
Oh my god.
Which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness, and then suddenly I didn't feel mad anymore.
Does he say, let's bang, okay?
I'm gonna add that in. Let's bang, okay? He said. And then, suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately.
Okay.
Draco climbed on top of me and we started to make out keenly against a tree. He climbed on top of you against a tree.
He's got his head between his legs and he's like Spider-Man kissing her while sat on her head.
he took off my top and I took off his clothes. I even took off my bra.
Ooh.
And then... fuck's sake.
Don't tell me your nipples are black as well.
And then he put his thingy...
Oh my god.
into my you-know-what.
Oh my god.
And we did it for the first time.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm.
What the fuck? I was beginning to get an orgasm.
We started to kiss everywhere and my pale body became all warm and then...
Oh my... No, mate. Come on.
And then, what the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers? It was Dumbledore.
No, he wasn't. Dumbledore doesn't say shit like that. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. That was chapter 4. There's 2 chapters per page, and there's 14 pages. But, unfortunately...
Next one, mate. We carry on.
You want another one?
Yeah, next time we do a podcast, we carry it on. Where did you get to? Chapter 4?
You want to keep going with this?
Next podcast, mate. Yes, I do.
Okay. How about we read 2 chapters per podcast until we exhaust it?
Yes.
So, next podcast, around the end of the podcast, we'll read chapter 5 and 6. Thank you for listening. That was really great. I'm gonna have to thank my sister for sending us that because that was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Mate, that was brilliant.
So,
motherfuckers, can you imagine Dumbledore?
Yeah, I know.
You just 10 points to Gryffindor, motherfuckers. Oh my god.
Just grabs Draco and goes, "Did you put your penis in the goblet of fire?"
No. Did you put your thingy in the goblet of fire? No, Dumbledore, I put my thingy in and you know what. and then we went to get an orgasm. Get an orgasm? Did she not? Obviously, she's like some 12-year-old edgy girl who never had anything done to her. Thankfully.
She was about to get an orgasm, bro. Dumbledore ruined it.
I'm heading out, Mum. Don't forget to take your orgasms. Oh my god.
That's brilliant.
Two chapters every podcast.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Will Ebony ever get an orgasm? Find out in the next podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find us on Twitter at UT2cast. You can follow us on our website, which is ut2cast.podbean.com. That's the best way, other than iTunes, to get our podcasts as early as possible because my internet's shit and YouTube is being a bit difficult at the moment. I'm working on some solutions, but until then, use the website or iTunes. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.